Hey folks, welcome back. Yeah, we're started. As you can see, this is the follow-up episode to We Support Graphs. We're going to be adding more features to Typeracer today because I have no idea what else to code, so we're just going to keep going with this because I might as well have something to do, you know? As you can see, pushed out a new release just today. We finally got graph support in here. Look at how beautiful that graph is. Looking mighty fine. And with that, we're going to go back to another one of our requested features here, which is to support multiple language packs. This was spurred as a push because, oh, hold on, it's decided to act a little weird. This was decided because we wanted to, I added non-Latin support a while ago, and which mean, you know, you could type in Chinese if you like to, but the vast majority of the user base is they speak in English. So for folks who would like the option to type in a different language, say Chinese or Latin or Spanish or I don't know, pick your favorite language. We don't necessarily want those in the default language pack. Maybe one as an add-on. Maybe the people who speak those languages or are bilingual should be able to type in multiple languages. And so there are a couple ways we discussed how we might want to do this. My idea here is we want to support multiple language packs. I think that would probably be the cleanest solution. But the guy who pushed this, who originally was asking for Chinese, also added some quotes for just Chinese, and they added the idea and said maybe, I don't know, maybe we could have like prefixes on each of these. So like there are Chinese versions of a Harry Potter or default language pack or whatever else you decide. I think that it could get a little confusing. I don't know, and especially if we just decide that the default is in like English, or like, you know, there are only so many prefixes, or like really, what happens if there's no prefix on it but it just starts with ZH dash? Like, I feel like it's pretty error prone, but adding the ability to add multiple language packs, kind of like PPAs, or that's the Ubuntu term, or like if you were to add like whatever that Arch terminology is, I forget what it was. It's like the user repos. If you had, you know, you're able to specify as many of them as you want, even though most people just use the AUR. Even though most people just use one source for their AURs. So what I'm thinking here is we're going to add that in today, or as much of it as we can. We're going to support multiple language packs, and it's going to be amazing. Just you watch, guaranteed. As you're going to see, the way that we do this actually is not too. So the way that we currently handle language packs, I'm not going to call it like modular or whatever. It could probably be better, but it should be able to handle multiple language packs in multiple locations pretty easily. So let us make a new branch, and we're just going to do as much of this as we can today. We'll see how far we get, but this actually shouldn't be too bad. I feel like it's something we can just like blast through pretty quickly. Let me just recenter this, a little more room. There we go. All right, let's do it. Let's just do a build. And just so you can see, in case you're curious, the state of graphs, I updated it so that the minimum numbers and the maximum numbers were now the numbers that that you have as your set, not as your set, but as like the actual records you get. So we should never hit like bounds errors. We should never hit. We should never have like graphs that are like super crunched into small areas. If you're always typing fast or always typing slow or whatever, you're not going to feel bad about it. These are all relative results. So the second I hit words per minute past 100 or much higher than 100, then I'll see it right here. But until then, I can feel good for hitting 100, even though it's, you know, I could probably do better. Anyway, so let's get into this. So there are going to be a couple components to this. The two components, or rather a few components. So the first one is going to make it so that the passage controller can recognize multiple folders with passages in them. That's step one. Step two is making it so that our Git manager, which is also in the passage controller, is able to pull down and check versionings for a bunch of different repos, not just one. And the final thing we need to do is make it so that the user can configure all these different versioned repos. So they're able to put in a couple different repos, and we're able to say, oh, you know, we have this repo with this version, we have this repo with this version, we have this repo at an older version, let's update to the proper version. And we'll need to update the UI for that too, finally. So this is going to be in the least loved UI, which is the setup UI, because the users only see it once, so I haven't made it look very pretty. But you can see config, where is it? Local, share, Typeracer. All right, yeah, this is the config UI, by the way. So you hit Y. There's also you could argue a bug here too, where if we just take forever downloading language packs, it just freezes on the screen. You got to like p-kill it. Not a very good user experience. I should total. This is like probably the main reason why you'd want a multi-threaded UI for this. But anyway, we're not here to fix that. Maybe we'll do something like that some other day. All right. Anyway, let's get out of here. So, first things first, let's make it so that, well, actually, let's add some extra areas for language packs. So I'm just going to make a new language pack, and we're just going to, let's see, I'm going to do this in, actually, I'll just do it in my own personal GitLab org. Because it's not like it needs anything too special. Public extra lang packs. I gotta say, this large cursor right here is kind of weird. It's not. Oh, it is in that box too. It's not. I don't know why GitLab does that. It looks weird, but to each their own. I don't do styling. And we're just gonna add. We're gonna make this real quick. Make an extra language pack. And this will be sort of like the intro. This will be the language pack thing that we'll use for the duration of the rest of the project. So we'll just make like 5 passages in here. And then we'll clone it in manually. And then we'll get the program to clone it in. And then finally we'll get the user to be able to configure it. So where do I have lang packs? Is it here? It is. And we call this extra lang packs. Note this says no affiliation to the real Typeracer project. So, okay then. I figured it would handle that. So it's not like we're going to be doing anything special. You could specify any language pack that you want on your own. And I'm going to be kind of honest. I forget the actual format for this. I think it's just like a version file and like 2 lines of text. We're just gonna make like 5 passages or whatever from here. 3 passages, I don't know. We get that from Git. These are all folders, and then the version. So we're gonna make this so it's the same version as the Langpack 04 beta. So we're gonna make this the same version as this, just so I don't need to really configure anything. So you have a version file, and then we have, let's make a folder. Oh, and we can't have any namespace clashes. Are we gonna need to worry about that? Yeah, we can't have any namespace clashes with the pre-installed Typeracer language packs. So if you do Typeracer-S, you can see we have some of these names. These are the short names of the language packs based on the folder names, and this is one in the beta. but we can't enforce that each of these are going to have, like each of the different PPAs are going to have a different, I'm just going to call them PPAs, by the way, just because it's just easier. We can't enforce they're all going to have unique names. So we're going to make it so that the PPA ones are prefixed with like extra lang packs / default. And we're going to ensure that's a test case by making a default. We're going to make this a default pack. All right. And then we're just going to find, I don't know, fun quotes. Just type up a few of these. 770 quotes. These aren't going to be like official or anything, so it's okay if the copyright isn't permissive. We're going to throw this out right at the end. So the format of these, pretty boring, is just the quote and then who said it at the end. Yeah. Oh, and I also need a UUID at the end of this. Or really doesn't have to be a UUID. So at the end of our version file. Just an identifier for the version. We don't do anything with it right now, but in the case we ever do. I forget why I added it in the first place. There's probably a good reason. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe I'm not even full of good ideas, you never know. Anyway, let's go back to, I'm just prefixing these with just UUID names, just so I don't have to do names for them. We got Socialist Dr. Seuss here, I like it. Let's do let's do 3 more, why not? Oh, we got Harry Styles quotes. Now we're talking. This is what I come here for. Let's do Bernard Branson. Oh, that reminds me. We should have a quote from Real Bernard. Best Bernie Sanders quotes. Top 25. Here we go. I'm ready. We already got one Bernard. Let's do a couple of these. Why not? They make it so you can't copy these? Are you kidding me? We gotta activate hacker mode to make this work. There we go. We'll call him Bernard. And one more. Sure. Stand up to billionaires, why not? It's catchy, I guess. Long enough. Man, they really do their best to make it hard to get these. Or maybe it's just because I hate it when people link over text. Okay. That's all set up. Let us start setting this up right here. So let's initialize the repository, add Oh, I should have. Default.get. And then this. Initial commit. Okay. So we have our initial quotes up here. I think that's all we need. Just double check. .git folder, not a requirement, we have it. Default, that's a folder. So we just need the version. Yeah, cool. Looks good. Looks good, looks good. Oh, and I need a branch. We're just gonna make a branch 0.4 on this guy. This one. This will be configurable later, but for now we're just gonna make it so it's got the same name as the one we're using now. All right. So finally, the next step we're going to do is we're going to make it so that we're going to set up the folder structure. Actually, let's think about the folder structure that we want here. So we go to config, Typeracer, local share Typeracer. We're not going to want this to be in lang packs. We're going to want it in something like, let's not call it extra lang packs. Maybe something like additional packs. So this is how I'm envisioning it being set up. Additional packs. Additional lang packs. Sure. And then we do something like, where the hell was I? Our developer Rust extra. So if you do, so this is kind of the gist. So we have our additional lang packs, and then in each one of these, in this folder, we have a bunch of extra language packs provided by the user. And each one of them has folders with quotes in them. So we end up searching, so let's think about this. We're gonna do this kind of like the same way that we do everything else here. When we look for a folder, if it's not there, we make it. So we're gonna make sure we have this additional lang packs always available on startup. After that, we're going to check in config for any of these extra, wherever they should be. Check the version and clone them in if they're there. Basically do all the checks we had before. And then we're all set. But before we do any of that, we're going to make it so that our passage controller can recognize this extra lang packs to this, and our Typeracer-S shows that this is extra lang packs / default. You'll notice it doesn't even know this default exists. It has no idea. So let us go back. Developer Rust terminal Typeracer. All right, and we're also going to make it so that we have what's the key to blacklist? We're going to blacklist every language pack too, to ensure. Oh, it's already open. To ensure that it's the extra language pack is the only one we'll be able to see. Blacklisted. Okay. Default. Harry Potter. Smithsonian. All right. Wait. Why aren't you blacklisting? We have a test for this. Am I doing it wrong? Do I not know how blacklisting and whitelisting works? Have I forgotten how to use my own program? That sounds like something I do. Yeah, it still looks at him. Interesting. Or maybe I broke blacklisting. Source, config, validator. Yeah, so we check validate lang pack, so match, will I turn okay, or we will make sure one or the other is used, okay. Both can't be used. And then source, config, let's look at this. Yeah. Because I know it honors the repo file. Let's, I don't know, let's do what we do best and just eat a DBG in here. Oh, it might disappear because we're going to clear the screen, aren't we? Man. Yeah, it's going to clear. Alright, I'm just... Oh, there it is. Perfect. Blacklist isn't even filled out. What? Alright, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. Be right back.